Welcome back. Many of the mysteries that had collected throughout Maya's life's years were resolved by Netflix's Fool Me Once, but some issues were unresolved in the haste to wrap up the thriller's main plotlines in Fool Me Once Episode 8. The conclusion of Fool Me Once, which was based on the same titled mystery book by Harlan Coben, managed to tie up most loose ends about the deaths of Joe and Claire, the extent to which the Burketts knew about Joe's previous affairs, and the connections between the various murders and mysteries. Fool Me Once Episode 8, on the other hand, likewise continuously omitted certain details on a few main characters and the majority of the supporting cast. Maya's examination of her sister Claire's death immediately following her husband's death ought to have foreshadowed her admission in the conclusion of Fool Me Once. Instead, the numerous contradictions she found readily allowed certain questions to remain unanswered. The mysteries were varied in weight, whether they resulted from the limited series' inability to devote enough time to focusing on other people or from the logic behind the Burketts' decisions that Fool Me Once omitted. Several of the riddles may be solved in the book, but there are still a lot of unresolved questions because several of the characters are either barely mentioned or completely absent. Fool Me Once, Shane's suspicious behavior throughout. Though Shane was a devoted friend to Maya, supporting her in everything from taking care of Lily to running background checks on potential suitors, his actions in Fool Me Once were occasionally unsettling. Many of Shane's actions went unanswered in the Netflix limited series, from waiting for her in Maya's own house to tracing her movements and hiding outside her house to spy on her. In Coben's book, Shane acknowledged that he trailed Maya when she encountered the fictional versions of Luca and Isabella because he was concerned about her unpredictable actions. However, this information was withheld from Fool Me Once, and Shane's most perplexing and mysterious behavior was never addressed. Sami's symptoms following her cessation of Burkett medication. Fool Me Once was able to quickly diagnose Sami Kierce's condition after realizing that the medications he was receiving were manufactured by the Burketts' crooked pharmaceutical company, and that his strange side effects were most likely a result of the subpar medication. Though Fool Me Once gave strong indications that he would have ceased using the medication, he also disclosed that the length of time he took them might have kept his symptoms unchanged. Although Sami lived a longer life than anticipated, Fool Me Once's final scene, which took place 18 years later, did not disclose whether or not his symptoms improved once he stopped taking the Burkett medications. Maya's strategy to avoid the Burketts' repercussions. To relieve Sami of her guilt, Corey the Whistle claimed that Maya was aware of what she was doing and that, by approaching the Burketts with a gun, she must have known that her death was imminent. Even though Maya wrote letters to all of her loved ones, she never actually told them if she intended for the Burketts to kill her in front of a global audience watching the live broadcast. As a result, her intention is still a mystery because it conflicts with her refusal to cut ties with Lily and her family. In the Fool Me Once novel, on the other hand, Maya leaves her gun in the car, so Neil is the one who actually murders her, using his own gun. Marty's role in concluding the investigation into Joe Burkett's death. Sami admitted to his associate Marty that he knew Maya had killed Joe before assisting Maya in exposing the Burketts' lies. The epilogue of Fool Me Once, however, placed all of the offenders in one room at the Burkett estate without the police. Therefore, it was never revealed in the novel whether Marty tried to bring Maya to justice. Since Detective Kierce in the novel never had a partner, Marty was an invented character in the TV version. Hence, the book cannot solve this question. After Fool Me Once ends, it's also impossible to determine who brought the Burketts to justice because Marty doesn't exist and Kierce plays a minor role in the book. For more, subscribe.